We're not going to be like,
oh, this chord shouldn't have been in here.
No. And then come in with that banging banjo. That's such a joke. There's no way. Melody, banger. Lyrics, banger. I'm not going to lie, guys. That song kind of gave me the ick. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to stream on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. Why? Yesterday, guys. Yesterday, I couldn't get my life together. I couldn't do it. My girlies will get this. Sorry, men, if you're grossed out. I really don't give a But you know that first day of your period where you just want to die? That was my yesterday. But I'm back, bitches, and we're back on schedule-ish. I posted our Twitch schedule to our Instagram. It's a little wonky because I'm going to New York next week in the middle of the week into the next week. And so it's a little bit of a weird Twitch schedule, but we've got some incredible albums lined up for April. It was so hard, guys. There's so many albums coming out. It was really hard to choose which ones I wanted to listen to, and thinking about what Ashley would also want to listen to because she's coming back in the middle of this month. So, you know, I was thinking about her, thinking about me.
But he looks at me and I look at him.
Thinking about streaming together again, finally. But you know what? Today is all about the boys. The boys of Mumford Sons. There was no way I wasn't going to do it. I was so excited on Friday. I tried to think I was going to do a different album, but it was always going to be this album. So I'm excited to jump into it. I will say, I should probably introduce myself first. I am Kelsey from Girl Music, and you're watching Stream. We're listening to Mumford Sons Rushmere today. And, you know, I read some reviews online and not everyone's loving it. Everyone's kind of giving it some shit. But you know what? Here's what I'm going to say going into it. Sometimes music can just be fun and nostalgic and feel good and easy peas. It doesn't have to be revolutionary every time. It doesn't have to change or push the needle every time. If every album did that, can you imagine how high the stakes would be at this point? Like, it's impossible. We're always going to need these albums that just feel a little bit like home to us. And Mumford Sons is always one of those artists for me, for Ashley especially, really brought upon this whole folk scene in the 2000s that just blew up immensely and became very, very saturated. And it made everyone kind of want to jump off a bridge because we were so over hearing a banjo. And lo and behold, we didn't hear a banjo for years. And now we're back with the banjo, baby. We're back with the banjo. And you know what? I don't care if you hate it. That's the attitude I'm going into with this album. Is very much I think it's just going to be a fun, lovely little album. Nothing like, we're not going to pick it apart. We're not going to be like,
oh, this chord shouldn't have been in here.
No. We're all about emotions in music, how it makes us feel, why it makes us feel. So we're going to be diving into that today. It is a short album, God bless. I'm more of like that 38-minute to 44-minute range kind of girly. And Mumford & Sons coming in at a hot 34. So thank you guys. You're really making streaming a pleasure. I think the first 3 songs were singles. I keep saying this on stream and I'll keep saying it. I've been really trying to ignore singles this year. It's like part of my New Year's resolutions to kind of ignore singles and really listen to the full album and pick out songs that I like from the full album. I think the first 3 were singles. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea. It is time to roll. We are listening to Mumford & Sons Rushmere starting now.
And all my weakness, can you lead? And I feel the spirit moving me again. I know it's the same spirit that still moves in you. I'll find peace beneath the shadow of your wings. You are all I want, and I'll find peace beneath the shadow of your wings. And I'll find peace beneath the shadow of your wings.
just really setting us up for the big, expansive guitar sounds. But I do agree with you, Mackenzie. I really love that very intimate guitar, just very beautiful. And I also always think about how he's married to Carey Mulligan, who I think is one of the most beautiful human beings of all time. God, she's so stunning. And I like to think that these songs are written for her. And it makes me really happy because I think they have a lovely little relationship. And I hope she's the piece for him. You know, there's been a lot of Mumford and Sons talk recently, given that this indie folk revival is kind of coming back. It is weird that they all seem like the Lumineers, Mumford and Sons. I know the Ophelias are coming out with an album. They all got together. They were all like, guys, it is now 2025. It is time for our revival. Let's go. We've been waiting in the shadows, cursed upon by everyone for banjo playing. And now, you know, they're really leaning into the more like rock side of things. The Lumineers album was very rock heavy, which I loved. And this is also kind of, I can hear how it's the same, but I can also hear how there's a little bit of maturity in the tone of the guitars. You know what I mean? Like there's a warmth to the guitar that I feel like was not super apparent in their earlier albums. So I'm already really intrigued by this. And I have been watching interviews with Marcus Mumford, and he's looking good. He's looking good. And I think he's hysterical. I think he knows people were like over the Mumford and Sons era. And I think he takes it on the chin, and good for him. Good for him. Anyways, we move on to Caroline, which I do believe was a single. I'll tell you if I remember it.
Well, we've been here before. I saw your name on a card as I came in the door. Will you deny our love again? Mad, bad, and dangerous, you're still the same. Caroline, you can go your own way, but my face will follow you down and fill your dreams. So you can say you're a savior, but I know you're a fraud. The stars can keep your secrets, I don't want to owe them anything, so I will draw the line. Draw the line. Draw the line.
Dang. That was a single. I remember it now, guys. It reminds me so much of old CCR. It gives 70s vibes, and his voice on that track is it's so clean in a raspy way that makes no sense. It's a juxtaposition, but he sounds better than ever. He sounds better than ever. Like the fact that he's kept his big belt for so long is so impressive. And I think that song is just really fun and lighthearted. A good road trip song. I'm loving it. Everyone's so serious sometimes on their album reviews, and they forget that sometimes music can just really be a fun time and a good time and can just make you feel cozy and nostalgic and all the good things. So I really like that song. I think that's definitely going on a playlist. The next is the title track of the album called Rushmere. We know this song. I've listened to this a lot in my daily life. It's a banger. Enjoy.
Light me up, I'm wasted in the dark. Rush me, restless heart to the end. Take me back to empty lawns and nowhere else to go. You say come get lost in a fairground crowd. There's madness and magic in the rain. There's beauty in the pain. Don't lie to yourself. Well, light me up, I'm wasted in the dark. Rush me, a restless heart. Time don't let us down.
Classic Mumford and Sons, right? Like build it up, then break it down to nothing, and then come in with that banging banjo. and let it loose. Let it go on its own. Let it set the pace. Let it be crazy. And that's what that song is. It's so fun to listen to. I feel so nostalgic right now. Just like, I never thought about my 30s when I was younger, nor did I ever think about the music I'd be listening to in my 30s. But if you told me I'd be liking a Mumford & Sons album in my 30s, in 2025, I'd be like, that's such a joke. There's no way. There's no way. But here we are, and I'm really enjoying it. We're coming up on the next song called Monochrome, which I've heard is a banger.
Though you and I are getting so much clearer, and it's getting clearer every day. Hyacinth girl, you are peace. There is life in the ground beneath your feet, but now it's dry, I am afraid. Hyacinth girl, you are peace. Hyacinth girl, you are peace. There is Christ in the ground beneath your feet. Beyond reason, monochrome out of sight.
Ooh, that was beautiful. Minus the Jesus-y stuff. You know, that I could always do without. But a really beautiful song to kind of slow us down. And again, it is giving these like 70s folk vibes. And I don't know why I'm hearing that, but there's got to be something in the production that's making it sound that way. I'm convinced of it. And I will say one of the biggest compliments I think in the entire universe is for someone to say that you are their piece. Like, that is so beautiful. That's better than any compliment on this earth. Marcus really does write really sad songs. If you think about them, if you really dive in deep, there are some tragically sad songs, but there's always an optimism to them. I don't know what it is. Like, there's always a grass is always greener side to things. And I feel like he really takes that and embodies it in music. And everything is so cheerful with this depressing message sometimes. And I love when music can do that. I love that it's their therapy. It could be their way of expressing themselves, because I think a lot of people feel that way. It's hard to feel the juxtapositions of life sometimes. And in music, it's beautiful to hear. So thank you, Marcus. Thank you. Moving on to their song called Truth. I haven't heard anything about this song. I'm assuming it's going to pick up. Knowing them, I'm sure a banjo is wildly waiting in the shadows, excited to come out. Oh, okay, maybe not a banjo. Maybe a sexy bass.
When I look into your eyes, I feel further every time. I was born to believe the truth is all there is. But there's a fire in the almost places, leaves us nowhere else to go. Yourself, sit outside the lines, blame everybody else. Don't leave a fire in the almost places.
little doggies. Dang, we went alt country. We went country rock. We went outlaw on that. That was interesting. You know, I will kind of shit on that I love the musicality of it. Melody, banger, lyrics, banger. But Marcus Mumford's voice seems a little misplaced for it. And I think that's why I was thinking like, oh my God, an Orville Peck with a deeper, huskier voice would sound so much better on this. There was something like he has that voice, but it's not outlaw enough. He really needs to like be drinking a beer and smoking a six pack. Smoking a six pack? Oh my God. Lord help me. Smoking a cigarette and drinking a six pack and like, you know, just using, I don't know, just something deeper. I think his voice was a little bit too pop for that song. Really cool if someone covered it though, that had that deeper, huskier voice. I need someone to do that because I really like that song, but I didn't like his voice on it. I don't know. Coming up next in the album, we're on track number 6 already, Where It Belongs.
Are you really gone? Everybody keeps asking when you blast off into the desert. Do you see me on the other side? When you speak, do you think you could do it kindly? Or does your anger overwhelm? Where it belongs, where it belongs.
Ooh, see, that's where his voice lives, in that very not buttery, but like a little buttery, mini butter with like really folkier tones. Like the outlaw thing is not his sound. The richer tones are his vibe. And he excels on a song like that. I just got totally sent out of my body for that one. That was really beautiful, really, really heavy, really, really sad. But margarine, yes. His voice lives in margarine. That's perfect. But yeah, I'm really loving this entire flow of the album. It's perfect. It makes sense. I'm assuming we're getting back into some bangers, although this doesn't have lyrics. So I'm curious if it's instrumental or if they just didn't bother with this one. They were like, guess it. Thanks.
Oh, maybe I was wrong, but baby, I was only young. I was trying to burn a hole in you with someone else's son. But now I've got to know myself, know I'm the one that needed help. I can't say I'm sorry if I'm always on the run from the anchor.
Mumford Sons, The Electric Era. That was pretty. It felt like a continuation of the last song. Kind of shmeh. Kind of like, okay, time to really pick it up a little bit. Let's go. Bring on the banjo. We're almost at the end of this album. We've got like 3 songs left. And kind of thinking about other people's reviews and what they're saying. And I will say, I will agree, but I will also disagree. So we'll get into all of that in a couple of songs. But like, let's finish this album out. Surrender is the 8th song on the album. Good God. I'm hoping we pick it back up with this one. I need a little pep in my step. We've had some sad, heavy songs.
I was soaked to the bone. Don't need to say it out loud, 'cause you already know I'm in over my head. Oh, break me down and put me back together. I surrender now. I cry havoc before you could know. Now I'm ready to pay the debt that I owe, and it's violent work. Break me down and put me back together. I surrender now. Hold me in the promise of forever. I surrender now.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. That song kind of gave me the ick. I instantly... I'm laughing at myself even now. I instantly had this vision of a youth pastor, like a really cool youth pastor, being like, guys, this song is so good. Like, it's all about praising Jesus. It's all about surrendering. Like, the chanting of I surrender feels very Jesus-y to me. And I couldn't get that out of my head. And I got such an ick. All I can see is some cheesy youth pastor. Oh, with a guitar. Oh, God. Oh, no. I re-traumatized myself. The back half of this album has been giving some schmeh, like very mid, and I'm understanding people's reviews now. I see where they're coming from. And that was just giving a little too hallelujah for me. So I hope the last two songs are better. But right now, the back half is kind of schmeh. Coming up next, we have Blood on the Page with Madison Cunningham.
Still, can we be still, even in chaos? But wait, there's blood on that page. I am in over my head, cannot help, it's over my pay grade. No need to be alone, you said. I'm in over my head, over my. Call me out late, call me in a slip. Call me out late, call me anytime you like.
Another song that kind of went nowhere. Pretty mid, as the kids say. I don't know. The back half of this album has really been disappointing. They leaned into their sound, but also very much slowed it down. And I think what's fun about Mumford & Sons is always their more upbeat hits. The rest of this is not hitting like I wanted it to, guys. I'm kind of sad. We're in the last song. I swear to God, if a song called Carry On doesn't put some pep in my step, I don't know what will. Agree. I think they are holding back too. It feels that way. Like, you could have added so many beautiful instruments to that last song. Violins. I don't know. Anything else would have done better. Like, it just was very one note kind of vibe. I always zone out during those kinds of songs. So I'm hoping this song puts us back on the upbeat train. Now I'm worried because I have no idea if they're going to end it in this very slow manner, or what I'm hoping is we get like one last banjo banger. Please.
If this is what it's like to be unholy, man. If this is what it's like to be lost. If this is what it's like to be empty again. If this is what it's like to be adrift. Carry
out of 10 on side A. 2 out of 10 on side B. I don't know what's happening this year with albums where they feel so different in the back half. I really had hopes because they know how to make an album. I've heard it before. And this one felt disjointed. Like that last song honestly felt like a cast off John Mayer song. Like it wasn't giving a power, like that could have been a powerful last song. Bring in the banjo, bring in your sound, make it more peppier, really make it that joyful celebration-y kind of sound. And it didn't even land anything. Like it just was like, okay, it's over. Cool.
Bye.
Like, what? You're known for your breakdowns. You're known for that big, expansive sound that you can build and then instantly break down and then bring in real hot and heavy. Utilize that. Holding back is what feels like the word of this album, the theme, holding back. Like there was just a little joie de vivre missing from really side B of this album, from like 5 and on. Really missed the mark. And now I understand why critics were schmetting it, you know, because I was like, you know, I heard the singles, like I remember really liking them, and that's because they were all in the first half, which was really great. But some of the reviews are very tongue-in-cheek almost. The Independent said on their first album in 7 years, the British band keeps to familiar territories of ye olde England and the dusty Americana that suits their holy rolling emotional tone, which I think is the perfect way to sum that up. I think it's very, very mid in the Mumford & Sons discography. You would think 7 years in between the last meh album, you would really try to bring your whole into this new one, but it didn't hit. It kind of sucks. Like I was really hoping that it was going to bring something. And I agree, albums have been a little disappointing this year. Bigger albums. I will say I have been flocking more towards the little indie rock revival that's happening right now. I have been living, breathing, eating, sleeping it all in, and that's kind of where my mindset is at. So I've been listening to some really great albums. But I will say all these like big releases, it starts off so strong and then I don't know, just like peters out, and it's like they don't have enough energy to sustain that grandness in their music. So I don't know. That was disappointing, to be fair. I would probably give it a 3. There were some songs I really enjoy and will probably revisit, but as a whole, I'm probably never coming back to that album. I am really curious to see what Ashley thinks about it when she gets to this album, because she is the bigger Mumford & Sons fan, but I think she will agree with me that it was just kind of lacking some oomph. Friday, New Music Friday, per usual, 11 a.m. And then next Monday, we're doing the new Joe album that's coming out on Friday. Joe is Joe Keery from Stranger Things. I love his music. He makes this very fun indie rock pop kind of sound. And Delicia, the song that he came out with from this album, is permanently stuck in my brain right now. I literally just started singing it in my head. So I'm really excited to jump into that album. I think it's going to be a fun time. So make sure you catch us on stream, and by us I mean me. Ashley is coming back mid-April. We're so excited to have her back. So thanks for hanging out. Sorry Mumford & Sons kind of disappointed us all, but you know, go listen to some better music and don't be spoon-fed your music. I'm gonna make this a little tagline. I feel like that's what we gotta say at the end of every stream. I will see you soon. Bye, love you.